I'm going to show you the exact message that got my client a conversation with a VP at her dream company. But the best part was this company wasn't even hiring. But first, I need to show you the message that probably 99% of people send that guarantees they'll be ignored. This is video 4 in my networking series, and today we're diving into the psychology of LinkedIn messaging and the exact templates that actually work. So here are two templates on the screen. Let's just go through the bad example. Here's what most people send. Hi, John. I saw you work at ABC Company. I'm looking for a job and wondered if you could help me. I've attached my CV. Thanks. Now, this message fails for three different reasons. First, it's all about you. You need a job. You want help. You're attaching your CV. There's nothing in it for them. Second, it shows zero research. You could have sent this to anyone at any company. It really screams mass message. And third, it puts them in a very uncomfortable position. You don't know this person, and now you're asking them to stick their neck out for you professionally when they know nothing about you or your work character. So, from a hiring point of view or a networking point of view, when someone sends a message like that, they immediately think this person doesn't understand professional boundaries and they probably haven't done any research. So, this is not a very good indication of your work ethic. So, let's talk about the psychology of great messages. Messages that work, they understand three major psychological principles. So, one is reciprocity, and this just means you've got to give before you get. And this goes for everything in life. You have got to give something first before you can ask for anything back. And in this particular situation, that could mean sharing an insight, connecting them with someone in your network. Maybe you've seen some really interesting trends and you want to share your thoughts. You are giving. It also shows that you're a really intelligent person. You're a very diligent person. You're not being lazy and just messaging the first person you came across saying, hey, can you help me get a job? So it actually goes to talk a lot about your character as well. The next is curiosity over neediness. Instead of, I need help, you approach with, I'm curious. I'm not desperate. I'm not in a rush. I am doing research. I am really curious about what is happening in this industry. This is what I've seen. Do you agree? It is more about opening up a conversation than needing something. And curiosity is really attractive, whereas neediness, it really, really repels people. Just think about when you go into a shop, and straight away the shop attendant comes up to you and is like, can I help you? And you're like, oh God, leave me alone. Just give me 5 minutes to look around first. It's exactly the same feeling. And then the other one is just having a generic interest. So sending messages where you talk about opportunities. It sounds very generic. Instead, you want to be very specific about their company, their role, their industry. This makes it sound like you're very driven. Again, you're not desperate for any job. You are specifically targeting a role or an industry or discipline. And the best networkers make people feel interested and valued. The best networkers intrigue people. Think about any time you've responded to a message, most likely the person messaging you, they have intrigued you. They've intrigued you enough to want to respond. So let's start with connecting with peers. So these are people doing similar roles to what you want. Here's a template that really does work. Hi, Sarah. I see we both work in product management. I've been following the challenges around user retention in SaaS, and I noticed you've been posting some really insightful thoughts about this. I'm always keen to learn from people in my discipline, and I would really love to connect. Why this works. It shows you've done research. You know what they do and what they care about. It also positions you as a peer. You're not asking for help, you're suggesting a professional exchange. It references their expertise. And everyone likes to feel like their work is valued and noticed. And it's specific. User retention in SaaS. It shows you understand the industry nuances. When they accept your connection request, follow up within 24 hours. Never leave someone hanging after they've accepted your request. You really do want to strike while the iron is hot. Then the other template for the senior person approach. Connecting with senior people, it really does require a different approach. You need to show respect for their seniority while also positioning yourself professionally. This is a good template. Hi, Michael. I work closely with product directors in my current role, and I've been really impressed by what I've seen from your team at XYZ company. Your approach to user experience really stands out in the market. I'd love to connect and learn from your experience as I continue growing my network in this space. So, the key difference is here you acknowledge their seniority without being subservient. You reference specific company achievements, and this shows deep research. So, you position networking as professional growth, not job hunting. And you imply you work with people at their level. So, you're not some junior person randomly reaching out. The follow up message is really crucial as well. Now, I do really want to mention that the further down the funnel you go, the more bespoke your messages need to get. So, these are templates that you can use to help get the ball rolling. But ideally, whenever somebody accepts your connection request, that's when you've got to really slow down and you've really got to think of something very bespoke for them. To do great networking, it's very difficult to copy and paste anything. The third template I want to share, it's the company research approach. This is my favorite template because it shows incredible preparation. Hi, Jennifer. I've been following ABC Company's expansion into the European market. It's really impressive growth trajectory that I've seen. I saw your recent post about the challenges of scaling customer success internationally. And having worked in CS for 5 years, including some international clients, I found your insights really valuable. It would be great to connect. So, what makes this so powerful? Current company knowledge. You know what's happening right now. It's not just what's on their About Me page. You've really obviously engaged with their content. You've really done the research. You're reading news articles. It shows you're really driven for that company. You also sprinkle in your relevant experience. So, you've subtly positioned your background as relevant without being pushy. And professional interest, you're interested in their expertise. Again, not asking for a job. The follow up here can dig deeper, but again, you really want to make it bespoke and really ask yourself, what is it I really want to ask this person? So here's where most people mess up. Someone responds to their message and they immediately go, great, can we set up a call so that you can tell me about opportunities? Or great, can we jump on a call for 15 minutes? I'd love to ask you some questions. But this is the wrong approach. You've got to build relationships first. This is about long-term relationship building, not jumping on a call for 15 minutes. So have 2 to 3 message exchanges before you even think about asking for a call. And when you do ask for a call, position it as learning. Again, curiosity, not job hunting. During the call, you want to spend about 80% of your time asking about their experience and only 20% talking about yourself. When you do mention your background, relate it to challenges they've just described. Only at the end of the call do you mention, this has been a really valuable conversation, I have to say, and everything you've shared only reinforces why ABC Company is exactly the type of organization I'd love to contribute to someday. I'm not actively looking right now, but I do have to say, if ever anything came available at your company, I'd be very interested in those opportunities. So, what is the mistake that ruins everything? There are 3 deadly mistakes. So, one, being impatient. If someone doesn't respond within 48 hours, don't send a follow up straight away. They saw your message. If they don't respond, move on. 2, being generic. If I can copy and paste your message to 50 different people, it's not personal enough, which is why when it comes to networking, a lot of people do want templates, and I really try to provide templates that you can use as a base. But if you really want to get great, experiment. Take your time, try different messages, see what works, see what doesn't work. And 3, being needy. The energy of, please help me, I need a job. It really comes through even in copy, even in text when you're typing. So always approach with curiosity, never neediness. And remember, great networking feels like professional development. not just job hunting. So really approach it as professional development. So I always like to set a little bit of homework so you can put into action everything you've learned. So pick one person from your target company list and craft a personalized message using one of the templates I've shared. Don't send it yet. First, engage with their content for a week so your name becomes familiar. I've put all the templates in the description, plus my network tracking spreadsheet so you can stay organized. Next week, I'm going to share some real case studies, so 5 networking conversations that actually led directly to job offers and exactly what these people did right. So let me know, which template are you going to try first? Let me know in the comments. And if this has helped you understand why your previous messages weren't working, do make sure to hit subscribe and watch the rest of the videos in my networking series.